Hey guys, it's John here, and today I'm going to be doing a tier list video of the things that kept me broke. And the top of the tier list is the things that will keep you the most broke. So there is actually some things that I didn't add on this video, and one of them is doom scrolling on TikTok. So on any social media for that matter. So if you guys don't know, when you scroll on TikTok or when you consume content, it actually goes into your subconscious, and your subconscious is ultimately what you become. So the more that you indulge in scrolling and watching pointless videos that are not dedicated towards your purpose, that is ultimately going to be what will keep you broke. So if I did add that, that would be pretty high up here, probably in the A tier. All right, so the first thing is family and friends. So I'm going to put this in probably the A tier. Now, a lot of people don't talk about this enough, and as cliche as it sounds, you are the sum of the five people you spend the most time with. So if you're always around friends who are bringing you down, maybe they're going out drinking, doing all these negative habits, then ultimately you're going to become another person that's just bringing people down, drinking, going out, scrolling, etc. Whereas if you hang around people who are where you want to be, or they're on the same path as you, then it will elevate your frequency and also help you elevate others. So that's how abundance works. So you help others, you pour out your cup into others, and then other people pour out their cup into you. The Bible even says, one gives freely yet grows all the richer, another withholds and suffers want. So basically, what that means is the more you give, the more you receive. And the less that you give, the less that you will receive. So the next thing is comfort. And I would say, honestly, comfort is S tier because comfort is going to stop you from doing basically anything. Let's say you wake up in the morning, you know you have to go to the gym because you want to get in shape, and you decide to turn on the snooze, sleep in, and then you wake up, you feel demotivated, you say, I won't go today because you feel more comfortable, right? Then you go on the couch, grab some donuts, scroll on TikTok, etc., etc. It just gets worse, and also comes down to comfort zone. If you stay in your comfort zone, like let's say you're making some money online and you don't want to travel because maybe you're scared, maybe you don't know anyone. If you don't travel, you're never going to know what the experience or the character that you would have built if you were to travel. Because when you do travel, you not only build new experiences, you meet new people, you get new understandings, new perspectives, and then you can bring that back to wherever you are, and you can use that knowledge to get to the next step in your business and also your personal life. So, next we have balance, and honestly, I would say balance is a C tier. Now, the reason I don't put it higher is because while I think it will stop you, especially at the start, I've figured out recently that it's crucial to have periods of monk mode, as cliche as it sounds. So what I like to do is 12 weeks of monk mode. You can be yourself, your business partners, with your brothers, just locked in, all of you working 6 days a week, 12 to 16-hour days. You're locked in on your personal development, your routine, etc. Then on Sundays, obviously, you rest, reset, recover. And then after 12 weeks, you go travel and you experience new things. You reflect on the past monk mode and you plan for the next monk mode. And I found doing this is the best thing in order to maintain, I wouldn't say a balance, but I would say a clear state of mind and also a higher frequency. And during that 1 to 2 weeks, you're still working, but you're experiencing new things and you're using that time to network, to get new ideas, to come back to your business and use that to grow exponentially. All right, so shiny object syndrome, I'm going to place this in A tier. And the reason for that is if you try and do multiple different things at once, you're limiting your energy that you could have used onto doing one thing. So I actually was a victim of this when I first started on my entrepreneurial journey. I started doing short form automation, agency affiliate, and e commerce. And I was doing that for 3 to 6 months, and I didn't get any results in all of them. Maybe I had a few sales in e com, uh, a few views on my shorts, whatever, but it was nothing crazy. And the reason for that is because of what I just mentioned. I was expanding all my energy doing those three things. And then I spoke to a friend of mine at the time who was a millionaire, and he said to me, he said, out of these three things, what do you like best? And I said to him, I like e commerce. So I dropped those other two things. I went all in on e commerce. I was staying up all night most of the time, maybe getting 1 to 2 hours sleep. And I was even doing something called polyphasic sleeping, which, if you don't know, it's where you sleep maybe 3 hours at a time and then you sleep another hour and another hour at different times of day. And that was for the first 2 months. And then within my first month, I made 10K in profit. And obviously, it's been up and down since there, but obviously on the upward trajectory. So the point is, that is one thing that'll keep you extremely broke. You have to focus on one thing and go all in. And once you have that automated to a certain extent where you can spend less time with your team, your systems, then you can start to venture out into other business ideas. But you still want to use partners so you don't have to spend as much time doing those other things. So, next we have waking up early. And I would actually say that is D tier because I actually wake up early myself. I wake up, depending on the time zone, right now it's about 7 a.m. And while, yes, it's not essential, it also depends on the person. So for me, I'm a morning person. I like to get up, do, what I have to do, then just get into work. And if you are the opposite, maybe you like to stay up at night, you're a night owl, then that's completely fine. So yeah, I'd place that in the D tier. Now, the next thing is listening to ecom gurus. So I'm going to place this right here in the B tier. So you guys probably seen this guy right here. Don't have to mention any names, but yeah, I was listening to him when I first started, and it took me like 2 weeks to get my store up just because of all the bullshit that he was telling. And they like to say things like, oh, top 10 winning products of June, top 10 winning products of July, etc. Oh, here's the top 10 products to sell in summer. And honestly, it's just all a bunch of complete bullshit. And if you listen to their advice, you're not going to get very far. Even if you take their courses or their mentorships, you're not going to get very far. So you need to find someone that actually does what they says and has proven systems that actually work, not just follow people who have flashy videos on YouTube but don't actually get results. Next, we have meditation. So, I would say, depending on how much you do it, I would say it's sort of here, like in between the B and the C tier. Now, obviously, it's not going to make you rich. However, it does allow you to have a higher stress tolerance, which having a higher stress tolerance will allow you to deal with more stress in your business and therefore allow you to make more money. So, with that being said, I would place it there. And obviously, if you're a monk, then it would be in the S tier. But if you're just doing it 5 minutes a day, then I would place it in the B or the C tier. Next, we have cold showers. And I honestly used to do cold showers when I was first starting. And for that reason, I would say B tier. They are very good for dopamine detoxes and getting you switched on, especially in the start of the day. However, they're not essential, and you can just have a normal shower. It's basically going to do the same thing. Next thing is journaling, and I would say, depending on again how much you do it, for me, I would say the E tier. I actually think journaling is very essential for anyone, but especially if you're an entrepreneur or you're just on the personal development journey, journaling is essential to find out who you truly are. Maybe you have problems that you're facing, so you can journal, you can write down the solutions. And once you have the solutions, then you have to take action on it. So again, depends how much you do it. If you do it too much, it's not good. If you have a balance, like for me, I do it once a week or at night if I have any thoughts that I think of that I need to solve, problems in my business, my personal life, I write them down, I take action, and that's how you should do it. This one here, obsessive goal setting. So I'm going to put this actually in the F tier. And the reason for that is because without goals, it's like a boat with no crew and no captain, right? Odds are the boat is not going to make it out of the harbor. Whereas if you have a crew, you have a captain, you have a destination, I'd probably say 95% of the time, unless there's an accident or something, right? You're going to make it to that destination. The same as in life. You have to have goals, but obviously it's to a certain extent. So you can't have too many. So I'd say if you have too many, I'd move it here. But if you have goals that you actually believe you can achieve and it's in a linear fashion, then I think it's a very good thing. And I actually think it's essential. Now, another thing that I didn't add on to here is women. Especially if you're a man, if you're a woman, it's the same thing. If you're trying to achieve something in this life, whatever it may be, and you're using all that energy into lust, into going onto dating apps, into meeting new people, spending money, spending time, spending energy, all that time you could have been using to actually build your empire. And every time that you engage in that activity, you're taking away time from your empire. So at the end of the day, guys, the choice is yours. What you do with these habits in this tier list. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that video. And if anyone is interested in starting e-commerce, I do teach people how to build their own brands, not just dropship, how to do branded dropshipping, how to build systems, how to build your team, how to actually scale to $1 million months. So again, if you guys are interested in that, we do not take everyone, but if you do qualify, you can message me on Instagram and we can talk on there. And with that being said, guys, I hope you liked the video. I hope you enjoyed. And if you did, please hit that like button. Please hit subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.